Okay.
Right. So just tell us about yourself. What brought you out to this pro-Israel counter-protest today?
Absolutely. My name is Arthur Schopper. I'm a member of LA County for Trump. I support the state of Israel. I support our president. Making America great again means that we need to ensure that Israel stays strong and stays free. And Jerusalem was finally recognized by our president as the eternal capital of Israel, not as some binational city, but recognized as the capital of the Jewish state. This is a welcome transition in our foreign policy, recognizing one of our strongest allies in the Middle East. And I am here to combat and contrast with the lies of the pro-Palestinian movement, the PLO, which want to give the argument that the Jews are the aggressors and that these quote-unquote Palestinians are the victims. They are not. It is a made-up nationality. This has been fomented by hostile Arab states, anti-Semitic elements, and a globalist agenda which is interested in phasing out all nations.
Right. So what are the lies from the Palestinian side that you guys are combating today?
First of all, the idea that the Palestinian territories, whatever you want to call them, are somehow occupied. It's all Israel. The Jews have a right to settle in the West Bank. They offered a little bit of peace with the Gaza Strip, which has now turned into a third world hellhole with 90% unemployment, where the Arab residents in that territory put their own children in harm's way in front of rocket fire, where rocket fire is continuously shooting out of these territories to attack Jews, to attack Israel, to undermine the Jewish state. We also want to go against the argument, you can see it right over there, that Zionism is racism. No, it is not. An affirmation and an assertion of national sovereignty in Israel is historically accurate and politically accurate. It's not racism.
Right. So where would they get that assumption from?
They're getting it from a corrupted anti-Semitic UN. It is a world organization which is dedicated only to eradicating inequality when it actually ends up creating more inequality, more racism, and more genocide.
Right. How so?
When you're declaring that Israel doesn't have a right to exist or that they're in occupied territories, it threatens the life of these Jews, and it's pushing the agenda by these Arab states to push the Jews into the sea and to overrun the entire country. You have some of the countries on the Civil Rights Commission in the UN, like Cuba or Afghanistan. These are countries which routinely violate the civil rights of their own people, let alone attacking people of other nationalities and even religions.
So with that said, how did you find out about this protest today, and what brought you and your...
Marine told me about it. He follows what's going on Facebook. They put up a Facebook event, and I showed up to be here to support the Jewish state, to support our president and his decision to recognize Jerusalem as the eternal capital of Israel.
So what do you and your colleagues here, what do you plan on accomplishing here today at the end?
We need to fight the one-sided narrative in the media and in the public that the Palestinians are poor victims and that Israel is an aggressor state. We also need to fight the lie that our president is a racist bigot who wants to foment more conflict and that he has no regards for the needs and concerns of all peoples. But most importantly, his caring about Americans and putting Americans first is a welcome departure from previous presidents who seem obsessed with a global agenda. He's putting Americans first. He's caring for all Americans. He's ensuring the safety and security of Israel, which is important. I'm a Christian as well. I support Israel because of its role and its play in God's plan and God's goodness for our country. We are blessed in part, and we recognize Israel as a part of that.
Right. So with Trump's move in recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, what do you think is the fruit of that action?
It's going to stabilize Israel, recognize that they have a strong partner with us. It's clearly demarcating a strong line and a boundary against the fomenting terrorism in the Palestinian territories, which shouldn't be Palestinian. They're really Israeli. Let's just call it what it is. There will never be a two-state solution. I support one state, a Jewish state. It was meant that way, even from the 1948 partition, and even before that with the Balfour Declaration. What we've seen is a steady stream of lies that come out of these rogue states and the leaders. Yasser Arafat was not interested in peace. He was interested in undermining the Jewish state. He was a pedophile himself just as much as Muhammad was. The Quran is a destructive political cult. It is not a religion of peace. It is also part of this destructive agenda that we see here to undermine Israel. You can read in the sacred texts of Islam, they talk about killing Jews and anyone else who is an unbeliever. And we can't have that.
I noticed earlier a couple of protesters came over to your side and there was some, some involvement with the police. You know what happened there?
We have a lot of these Palestinian activists who are violent. They want to affront us and fight with us. And we found that you'll find that the pro-Israeli, the pro-Trump side, we are peaceful. We're not interested in fighting. We're not interested in conflict. But we are interested in setting the narrative straight. Part of the reason I'm talking to you.
Great, for sure. Thanks, man. Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much.